Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome to Fighters Rep Podcast, episode 35. It's yours truly, the Fighters Rep Fez, along with my esteemed colleague, Ignat Behavior, and we're here to talk to you about Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk. We're going to give you our reaction. This was a big one, Gary. This one was for undisputed, the first time in 25 years. What an absolute shame that the sport of boxing hasn't had an undisputed champion in its glamour division in 25 years. Another thing is, I'm hearing today, there's a lot to talk about. I'm hearing today that Usyk is going to be stripped of one of the titles already, so two other guys can fight for it. I believe Dubois and Hrgovic. But more than anything, Gary, we need to get into this fight, man. This fight was crazy. I'm going to let you start off first. What were your thoughts of the fight? We both predicted a Tyson Fury win. Were you surprised? Tell me what's going on through your head a couple days after this fight.
A little surprised, not like totally like, oh my God, Usyk won. Like, I don't consider him like a huge underdog to that point. Yeah. I did have Tyson as the favorite, but it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that Usyk could win. Yeah. Like the fight started off pretty much how I thought it was going to go. I mean, even a little bit better than I thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
Because Tyson, it was a tales of two halves. I mean, the first half, I thought Tyson was dominant. And it started to look at a point that he was just going to outclass Usyk and knock him out.
So the first half, you thought Fury was dominant? The first half?
I thought. I mean, honestly, I thought the first 7 rounds. Honestly, I got to rewatch it again. You got to watch it more than once. The first, just off of watching it straight up, I thought round 1 through 7, Tyson won 6 of those rounds.
Yeah,
I know. I seen Sean Porter say 5 of them. He thought I know that's the thing. Some people gave Usyk the first 2 rounds, and then after that, Tyson for a bunch of other rounds. Yeah. I gave Tyson the first round. I gave Usyk the second. And then after they made that switch up, they told him, go to the body. And he starts hitting them to the body and then throwing those uppercuts. And I thought he was going to – I even seen some fighters out there saying like, oh, this is getting ugly. That's the way it looked like it was trending. And then all of a sudden, like 7, you start seeing Usyk closing. 7 was a close round. And then 8, it was like Usyk. And then 9th, it was like, oh, it was like 9th after the 9th round. It was like, whoa, okay. And I just thought the first half, Fury was dominant in the first half.
Well,
and then the second half, got the second half. I think pretty much lost the second half of the fight. Yeah. And that knockdown is even further distance. Put the distance between Fury and Usyk.
I thought the knockdown did it. I thought the knockdown won Usyk the fight.
Yep.
The knockdown won. You've got a little resistance in the chat already. We've got JM in here. Appreciate you being in here, JM. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Join the channel. It says, no way did Fury win more than 4 rounds. I'm going to have to disagree with that. I thought. Let me tell you the way I thought it went, Gary.
Okay.
I think we need to utilize more the 10-10 rounds or the 9-9 rounds. Because those first 2 rounds, if it's too close to call, I think you should give both guys the same amount of points. I think you should look for a winner, but if it's too close, you should just call it even. I also thought Fury, I thought Fury did better in the middle of the fight. I thought the first 2, 3, maybe even 4 rounds were like feeler rounds, and then maybe around 4 or 5, I felt like Fury started to pick it up. I felt like he was landing that nice uppercut to the body. I felt like he landed a big uppercut to the chin at one point in the fight too.
A few times.
And I'm not sure why he didn't follow up with that, because I heard Usyk even went to get like his jaw x-rayed after the fight. I mean, that's a shot you gotta keep. We'll get to that in a second. I thought it was very close in the beginning. I think it was kind of a toss-up. Maybe you could give Usyk a couple rounds, but I thought it was very close. I thought Fury took over in the middle. And then for me, that 9th round just changed. 7, 8, 9. Usyk started to come on. that ninth round for me was the winner. You know, he won that fight
Yeah.
because of the ninth round. You know what I mean? When that ninth round doesn't happen, you know, we have Tyson Fury and undisputed. You know, so I thought that's what made the fight so exciting. You know, the first couple rounds you didn't know what was happening. Then it felt like Fury was coming on and really starting to, you know, he was really starting to feel himself. You know, he was throwing that uppercut in there, and then Usyk started to come back and just on hard work. You know, it was just hard work because, and I'm going to ask you about this too, right? I thought, you know what? Before we get into that, because I'm going to piss some people off. I know I'm going to piss some people off. I don't want to go directly into pissing people off. Were you okay with the decision?
Yeah, I was okay with the decision. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you know, I felt like how you felt. The ninth round won it for Usyk because once he got a 10-8 round in ninth round, and then the whole 10th round, basically Fury just gave the 10th round to him to try to survive and get his. And even 11th round, I felt like Tyson was coming too, but it was still affecting him. So I think that gave him like 4 rounds just there. Then 2 points in the 9th, then you got the 10th, and you got the 11th. That was a huge like bum.
12th, you thought 12th Fury won that? Because JM is in here. He's saying he gave him 4, 5, 6, and 12. You thought
I thought 12th was close. I thought the 12th one was close. It can go either way, but I mean the 12th, I don't know. It's a toss-up in the 12th.
Well, JM, I'm curious, JM. You know, you really gave Usyk 1 through 3. Like, what was he doing? You know, for me, you score a fight, number one, based on significant strikes, right? How significant was the strike? Meaning, how close was it to bringing about the end of the fight? I didn't think, you know, any one of them landed anything devastating. If that's about even, then you go to volume. I didn't think there was a huge difference there. You know, I thought it was awfully close. You know, I'd like to hear from people like JM who gave Usyk rounds 1 through 3. What was happening in 1 through 3 for you to give it to Usyk? I just didn't really see enough.
Yeah.
For me, it was barely enough for me not to give them a tie, right? If I was a judge here.
I mean, I thought round 1 that basically I gave it to Tyson because I felt like nobody landed too much significant shots. I felt Tyson was throwing a little bit more. He was a little bit more active. He shot his jab out there. If you look at the CompuBox numbers, he did edge him by like 1 in the first round. But Usyk did have more power punches. But still, I know they said power punches, but if you look at the fight and you're watching it, it wasn't.
I mean, Gary, a power punch
wasn't nothing.
A power punch is anything other than a jab, right? But
that's what I'm saying.
It has to land good, you know.
It didn't land. Nothing landed clean in the first round except for a jab. So that's why I gave it to Tyson Fury. Second round, I gave it to Usyk because he did land like about 2 big shots in that round, and it was pretty close. Far as the work and far as like it was pretty far as like the work and far as punches landed, but I felt Usyk did in the second round land 2 significant shots. In the third round, I'm sorry, I gave it to Tyson because I think people discount the body work that he started to do in the third round.
I thought the same thing. I feel like
in the third round he was doing the body work.
I feel like people don't give credit to body work.
And that what led up to Tyson starting to cook. The third round, he started hitting him in the body. Fourth round, body. Then he throwing the uppercut. He's boom, throwing the uppercut. Then the fifth round, it was just more of the same. I felt, because I remember, and I heard him in the corner saying, go to his body. And once he started going to his body, that's when the fight started leaning way towards Tyson. Yeah. And like I said, I felt Tyson was in pretty much in control. Now, what I do feel about Tyson is I felt like and it was weird. I felt like you could tell around 7 to 8, it started seeming like he was wearing down a little bit, like his pace was slowing down a little bit, like he gave too much in those other rounds. Like he started slowing down a little bit. So that was weird to me.
I felt like they both slowed down at times, though. I felt like they both slowed down at times, but you're right. I felt like Tyson started to slow down first. Where I felt like Usyk really slowed down was after that 9th round, because he really poured it on in that 9th, trying to get Tyson out of there.
What did they now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, what I was saying was I felt Tyson slowed down first, but then I felt like in trying to get Tyson out of there in that 9th round, Usyk really let it all hang out too, and seemed to be tired in the 10th and 11th round. You know what I mean? He seemed
Well, yeah, in the 10th, in the 10th and 11th round, of course, it's the end of the fight. You done gave what you got. And I think Usyk slowed down in the middle of the fight, not because he was tired, because he was hurt. I felt like Tyson landed an uppercut there one time, like you said. He landed a few uppercuts, but I felt like it took, I want to say, was it round 5? I want to say, I gotta, like I said, I gotta watch it again. But I think it was like maybe round 5 or so. He was kind of like, oh, whoa, like kind of just weathering the storm. Like if you look at the compubox number, I think 5 and 6, Tyson way outpunched him and was dominant those rounds.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Tyson missed his opportunity. Because when I seen Usyk go back to the ropes, kind of how Tyson did, but not as bad. He kind of like felt the power, and he started going back and just shelling up, like, okay, let me just weather the storm real quick.
Isaac McCary's in here. Free Smoke says, I had Usyk to win by split decision plus 900 money. And then JM says he was outworking him. JM's referring to the first 3 rounds that he gave to Usyk. He was outworking him, applying all the pressure. Can you pull up CompuBox? Compare with that, please. I think CompuBox gave 3 round 3. Well, CompuBox, for me, I don't put a lot of stock in CompuBox, right? Because you could be landing more punches. You could be landing more power punches. But again, it's the significant strike that matters more. I mean, if I land 10 pity pat shots on you and you blast me and I go flying through the ropes, that one shot that you landed is going to count a lot more in that round. It's probably going to win that round. So, I appreciate the opinion, but, I don't see Fury. I mean, I'd have to watch it again and score it round by round. But for me, it felt like Fury was on top, maybe by a point, going into that 9th round when he got dropped. And
you think only by a point?
At least.
I got to disagree with you there. Because I'm going to say this. He says he outworked.
Well, I said at least. I mean, he had to be up by a point.
But I'm going to say JM said that he was outworking him. And he said, look at the CompuBox. Well, if you look at the CompuBox will tell you differently. Tyson Fury actually not just landed more. Because in the first round, it was like 12 to 13. But he threw more punches than Usyk in that round. He threw more punches. And if you look at how many punches were thrown in the second round, he threw just as many punches as Usyk. Yeah. It's just that Usyk landed, to me, because like you say, you have to kind of look at CompuBox number, but you also kind of got to look at the fight. You can't just look at the numbers. You got to look at, because like you say, some are just shoe shining punches that really aren't really landing clean. They're not really landing with significant power. In the second round, I gave it to him because I think he landed a straight left and like a hook or like a jab. I gotta look at that again. But he landed 2 big shots in the second round, and those are the biggest shots of the round. Yeah. And it was a close. It wasn't like Fury just was tagging him up a bunch. It was a close round, and he landed the biggest shots in that round. That's why I gave him second.
Yeah, I thought the body work. That's what kept it close for me, and maybe more for Fury was the body work. Because people ignore body work, bro. Body shots, fucking. But hey, body shots matter, bro. We gotta make a shirt. Yeah, we're gonna make a shirt that says body shots matter, leg kicks matter, all this shit matters, man. All of this shit matters. Yeah. JM says agreed. Look, I mean, JM, we're having a great conversation here, guys. So feel free to give us your input. Agreed. Fury threw more and Usyk was more economical. You're right. So it's awesome that we can sit here on the channel and debate this stuff without being barbarians and really make some headway. Go ahead. Well, what I wanted to ask you, Gary, I mean, I want to let you finish your thought though, because I kind of want to segue into something else. So you go ahead. Then we'll go.
Oh no, I was gonna just say with Jay. I was gonna just say with JM. That's honestly because it wasn't nothing that happened in the first round. Though I know that because that's part of the reason why I gave it to Fury, because he was more active.
Yeah.
He landed like one more punch. I don't really care about that really, but I just felt like he just in the first round he was the more active control. First rounds to me, I think fighters should take that first round a little bit more serious because you can still it's a round to be stolen.
Yeah.
Because just by doing just a little bit more than the next fighter, you can steal that. And I just
the thing is though, you need to be careful, right? You need to be careful. JM says, I agree, compubox can be inaccurate. I need to see the fight again, but they haven't released it yet. Mark Reels, shout out to Mark Reels. He's fighting at FightersRep on June 8th. Can't wait to see his fight. He says the real question is what happens in the rematch, and we're going to get to that in a bit. And James says, Mark, that's the golden question. Does Fury now have the measure of him, or will Usyk make more adjustments? Gary, that's kind of a good segue, right? Because what I wanted to ask you here before we even think about the strategy for the second fight, for the rematch, assuming it even happens, right? What happened here? What do you think happened here? Did Fury fight the wrong game plan? Was Usyk just fighting the right game plan? What happened, in your opinion, that caused Usyk to beat Tyson Fury? Because I didn't think I had Fury winning this fight, and I know you did too.
What I think is basically you had two top tier boxers in there. When I mean boxers, not ballers, not sluggers, but top tier boxers in there. Smart up here, and I think adjustments happened. I think Tyson Fury got a little bit overconfident. Once he started feeling like he had the in control and he knew he hurt Usyk a couple times, had Usyk on the back foot in the middle rounds, and really a lot of people, like I said, I was looking at Twitter, I seen Terrence Crawford saying, "Oh, it's starting to get ugly in here." Yeah. I seen other people like, "Oh, like it looked like Tyson Fury was taking over," and I think Tyson Fury got a little cocky, a little confident, and he kept getting hit by that left and made no adjustments to the two. Like he get hit and he's like, "Oh, it didn't hurt." Well, you keep getting hit by that. Eventually, one is gonna hurt and it's gonna catch you on the right spot.
Coming, especially when you don't see it coming.
Yeah, especially when you're in between throwing punches. And I thought when he got caught
back like this, Gary, you're pulling back like this.
Yeah, but see that works. But Tyson Fury, this is my thing is I went and I try to gauge things. Tyson Fury, he always does this, and that's how he gets caught. That's how he gets caught and dropped. Because to be as good, greatest fighter as he is, right?
Yeah,
he gets knocked down a lot. Okay.
Yeah, he does.
And you gotta think is a lot of times he's pulling back now. I felt like every time Usyk let that left hand go because he could close the distance on him. And Tyson Fury, he doesn't put his hands up. I was told by somebody like all that shoulder rolling and leaning back is cool, but when you're against the ropes, eventually somebody's throwing shots. They're gonna slip one through and things. You need to. That's cool. Like Floyd, you see Floyd do it, but Floyd gets out of the. If Floyd's against the rope, he does that a little bit, then he'll put up the guard and get out, or shoot a shot, get out. He's not standing there dancing because you can dance only for so long before somebody throws something and catch you on the chin. And like you said, Tyson Fury, he has a habit a lot of pulling back with his head and using his head. And in the middle ring where he's tall and he's long and he can move, he can use his feet along with it. It works a lot better. But once you close the distance, you get him in the corner or against the ropes where he can't move back and you can only lean back so far. You get caught.
So I mean, you just felt like Usyk outboxed him. I mean, is that why you thought this? That was a different
I just felt like it was two great boxers making adjustments. Tyson Fury a little bit overconfident once he started. He got a little bit overconfident, less defensively sound, and got caught with something. And that was the check. And that, like we said before, I felt like if he doesn't get caught by that punch, he probably wins this fight. But getting caught by that punch. You gave up too many rounds after that, trying to recover from it. You gave up 9, 10, 11. You already lost 8 already. You had already lost 8 clearly. 7 is debatable, but 8 ain't debatable. You lost 8.
Interestingly, in the post fight, he was saying that he didn't come out for the finish in round 12 because his team told him he was up. I
thought that was crazy.
Who the hell told you that, bro?
Because and see, this is what I'm saying is you can't those first two or three rounds, you can't really just say for sure you won those rounds.
Yeah, no, you
So you
can't.
can't count those as I got those in the bag, especially
Yeah,
not two.
you can't
Especially
play
not
that
two.
game. Yeah, you can't play that
Like
game.
1 and 2, you can't say I had those in the bag. So
Yeah.
you got to come in with it. 1 and 2 is a toss up in the air. 1 and 2. Even if you thought 3 through 7, you won. That's 4 rounds.
If they told him that, I mean, he might have too many.
5.
If they told him that for real, if they really
Yeah.
said that, I think he's got too many yes men in his corner. He needs somebody in there, and I'm saddened to say that, right? Because Sugar Hill is there, and I'm not sure who else was there. I mean, somebody's got to tell you. I don't know if I even believe what he's saying. Somebody really told you had that fight in the bag, bro? Like somebody really told you that shit after you just got fucking nearly finished in the 9th round? And a lot of referees would have just stopped that fight in the 9th round, Gary. Also, besides the fact that a lot of referees might have stopped that fight in the 9th round, right? Why the fuck did you not just take a knee?
Take a knee. Take a knee. I
Bro,
was saying the whole time,
I
just
was
take a knee.
screaming inside.
You're taking more abuse. It might have not taken him that long to recover if he just took a knee. If he just took a knee, it might not have taken him that long to recover. But he took so much punishment, especially at the end when he was hanging on the ropes. I mean, how many shots did he take?
Wild, man. That was just wild to me. I mean, and I think he did it because his fucking ego, and he's trying to like be the tough guy with Usyk, right? And show him like I'm your big brother, basically. Like you can't fuck with me. Dude is falling and stumbling all over the ring and getting destroyed, and that could have caused. I mean,
he could have been knocked out. Period.
Yeah, listen, not taking the knee there could have cost him the fight too. I mean, besides the knockdown costing him the fight, not had he taken a knee, maybe something different would have happened there, Gary. Maybe we would have had a different result. Maybe he would have come back better in round 10, 11, and 12. Instead, he was still dazed. He was still out of there. And Mark Reels is saying, I don't think he knew what was going on. I mean,
that could be possible.
Mark, that's possible. But you know what? I think based on the way he was looking at Usyk and refusing to go down, I think he was just trying to show him I'm stubborn and you're not going to be able to get me out of here. And it was bravado. And I think that bravado, he paid for that at the end of the night. Yeah.
I just look at it like, dude, it ain't your first time being knocked down. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the first time being knocked down. So if you get caught with because you seen when he got caught with the shot, he leaned back on the ropes like, woo, that one hurt. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Hey, man, take the knee, man.
JM just said 100%, Mark. He wished the crowd Happy New Year. That's why fighters shouldn't be interviewed after a vicious beating like that. Prime example, DC. Wow, that is hilarious. He actually did say that. So I thought that was I'm going to say something here that a lot of people are probably not going to agree with. And I want to get your thoughts on it, Gary, because, me and you go at it all the time. And you're not afraid to straighten me out when I need to be straightened out and vice versa. I thought, you know how in football sometimes you just get your ass beat, but sometimes you lose the game. You lost the game. For me, Tyson Fury fumbled this one bad, Gary. Bad. And I don't want to take too much credit away from Usyk, right? But I didn't see Usyk do anything special in this fight other than just come forward and flurry on Fury when he was on the ropes and nearly get him out of there because of that. And the reason, and again, you could tell me I'm crazy whenever you want. Jump in and tell me how crazy I am. But the reason that was able to happen is because Tyson Fury at 260-something pounds, maybe 270, 280 on fight night, 6'9", whatever he says he is, probably closer to 6'6", 6'7", still way bigger than Usyk. Instead of fighting the way he did when he fought Deontay Wilder in that second fight, which is being strong and standing his ground and throwing that 1-2 down the middle and walking this dude down and showing him who the man is, he was fighting the Deontay Wilder 1 fight, skipping around, too much boxing, too much shit. And for me, every time he backed up into the ropes doing that cute shit, especially when he was going back into the ropes, that's when he was getting caught. For me, right? For me, and this will go to the rematch too, the rematch topic we talked about here. For me, Tyson Fury lost this fight bad. He fumbled this bad, in my opinion. Had he fought like he fought in Wilder 2, which is stand strong, be a man, don't lose too much weight, be heavy, be strong, go for the knockout, walk this dude down, Kronk style. Had he done that in a responsible way, bro, he backed up this whole fight, Gary. He backed up from the smaller man.
Well, I won't say the whole fight.
Let me finish.
Go.
I think I'm doing something here. I think I'm cooking here. He backed up. He backed up this whole fight, Gary. You're 6'9", bro. What are you doing? Go forward. Walk forward. Be strong and just walk this little shit down. He can't even reach you. What are you fucking thinking, bro? Hit him with another uppercut, then go over the top, and if he comes in, wrap him up. I don't know. Let me tell you something, man. I don't know what the hell Tyson Fury did in this fight. And that's why I think in a rematch, I don't really see what else Usyk can do. The only thing Usyk can do is kind of do what Tyson allowed him to do in this fight, which is walk him into the ropes with no problem and flurry on him while he's holding the ropes and doing this goofy shit and get clipped. Tyson Fury can change his entire game plan around and win this fight.
Well,
go ahead.
Okay, so since we're going on to that, now,
wait
is crazy.
Okay, I feel better now.
This is crazy. We don't agree too much, but I don't totally agree with your take. I don't think that Tyson Fury lost the fight. I think Usyk weathered the storm. Usyk stayed, he stayed, undeterred. I think when he did get hurt, he kept coming.
Fury didn't lose that fight? You're telling me Fury didn't lose that fight?
Well, you gotta let me fucking finish before I can agree with you, bro. I can't go as far as saying he lost that fight. I can say I can't go that far. I can say his things he could have done. I agree with you. I thought the same thing you thought, and this is where we think alike. I said when I saw the fight, I said he fought like he fought Deontay Wilder the first fight.
Why?
And Deontay Wilder ended up catching him. Now I don't think he was backing up the whole fight because in the middle rounds where he had his most success, think about it, he pushed Usyk back a few times in the middle rounds. I thought he could have got Usyk out there.
Gary, a couple times over the course of 12 rounds, and you're 270 pounds.
Hold on, wait, motherfucker. You gonna let me finish? You gonna let me finish? You can go off on everything you want to go off on.
I apologize. Go.
In the middle rounds, he did have Usyk against the ropes, and I thought that's when he had the most success when he was walking forward. When he's throwing his uppercuts, walking forward in the middle of the ring. When he kept the fight in the middle of the ring and he backed him down, walked him down, he had the most success.
Why not do that from round 1 to 12?
He chose not to. He chose he was going to just outbox him. Right? Because that's maybe he thought he was so much superior boxer. But like I said, I thought what you thought. I said this second fight, he's going to switch it up. He's going to come forward. I don't think he's coming in at 267. He's probably going to come in at 280. He's going to come in at 280, 285. He's going to walk forward and he's going to start putting punches together because I thought he caught Usyk with a couple shots that had Usyk bothered. And like you said, he had an x-ray of his jaw. I thought that he was the more powerful man, but I thought just laying back on the ropes, he was walking back to the ropes sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. You're repeating what I'm saying.
I said I agree with you on most of it. Stop arguing with me when I'm trying to agree with you.
But you said you won't go that far. Really? You won't go that far?
Let me tell you, it's all strategy every time.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. So let's say you're Sugar Hill. You watch that fight. What are you telling? You're not telling Tyson, hey, bro, you lost that fight. You walked backwards the whole time.
Well, that's just like, okay, you mentioned in football. What does every coach well, I ain't gonna say every time, but a lot of times
Well,
you play basketball, you go
said
back and you be like, the coach is like, you lost that game.
Okay,
Doesn't necessarily mean the other team made plays.
But you agree with me, but then you said you wouldn't go that far. What do you disagree with me about? What do you
because I can't go and say he lost it like Usyk wasn't doing his own thing. Usyk was landing that left. Usyk.
Yes, he was landing that left because this 6'9", 85 wingspan fucking chimpanzee was just standing there on the rope like this.
But listen, okay, so let me ask you something. This is why I can't say he lost it, because were you saying he's losing this fighting that way the first 6 rounds? No. First 7 rounds? No, you weren't saying that. You were saying he was winning.
Because he wasn't fighting that way in the through 4 through 6. He wasn't fighting.
He wasn't. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. But I'm saying though, Gary, no.
So Gary, no. I'm not gonna wait a minute. I'm not gonna tell
because of 3 rounds. He came forward a little bit. He was winning the first 7 rounds.
Gary, so no, I'm not gonna tell the pig that's flying, okay, in the sky that hey, your wings don't work. I mean, the guy was fighting bullshit in the first 3 rounds. He picked it up in the 4th round and started fighting the way he's supposed to. Are we getting some sugar? Is there a sugar input?
Yeah. I got the key to the car too.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it.
Come on, they're waiting for the sugar now.
It's tradition. It's tradition.
Go ahead.
I love it. By the way, subscribe to the channel. But anyway, so look. and our OnlyFans. By the way, so listen. I can't fault him for what he did 4 through 6. That was correct. Gary, you just proved my point. And listen, I don't blame you, because this is all running through our minds for the first time we're having this discussion, right? There's going to be a lot of epiphanies in this discussion, in this conversation. For instance, JM brought up the fact that he said Happy New Year to everybody. I totally forgot about that. So
I did.
he was gone. But as far as him losing the fight, Gary, in my opinion, he lost that fight. He fumbled, and I would say he fumbled the bag had Turkey Al Sheikh not given him $150 million in Saudi Arabia. But he fumbled the proverbial winner's bag, right? That, for me, I don't think Usyk. Listen, what did Usyk do that was special, Gary? Does Usyk hit harder than Deontay Wilder? No, he doesn't hit harder than Deontay Wilder. What did he do? Fury walked backwards with his hands down. But he stuck to his game plan. Wait a minute. With his hands down, and allowed this guy to counter him 100 times and just flurry on him. But listen,
Fury, this is what I started to think off with. Fury always does this. He always pulls back with his hands down, uses head movement, all that shit. That's not the first time he held the ropes and did that goofy shit.
Gary, for fuck's sakes, bro, fight the way you did in Wilder, Fury Wilder.
Yeah, but you got to
fight the way you did in the first fight.
Okay, so let me ask you something. How did he fight in the third fight? He didn't fight the same way in the second fight. In the third fight that he fought the second fight.
No, he didn't.
Second fight, he was coming forward. Third fight, he switched it up again, because that's not naturally. Tyson Fury throughout his career is been a natural boxer. Move around, do like this. He's not. He tried to change after Wilder. He did, because he got White out of there with an uppercut. Like he's leaning on him. I thought he should have leaned on. Usyk a little bit more, take his legs away a little bit.
Gary, he didn't do anything. Gary, he didn't use his size at all, Gary, at all.
But I will say this, though. I do also think he pulled back in the 7th to 8th. It looked like he was a little gassed a little bit, like he was taking a break. And I think that's why he started going to the ropes as to take a break to pace himself.
Listen, let me tell you what one. I'm so sick and tired of having to explain and teach everybody everything all the time.
God. Oh my God.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what one Let me tell you what won Usyk this fight. Tyson Fury boxing the wrong fight and Usyk being more disciplined.
Yeah.
Usyk being more disciplined because it was that discipline at the end of the day because they boxed and they boxed almost to a stalemate. But Usyk, because Usyk doesn't fuck around and do drugs and drink and doesn't have love handles and isn't fat in the off season and when he's not fighting, and this guy is 100% focused on his craft. And I believe that discipline is what got Usyk the win in this fight because it wasn't boxing. As far as boxing skills, in my opinion, and I'll stand on this to the day I die, Fury is a better boxer than Usyk any day of the week. I don't care how many amateur fights Usyk had. I don't care that he beat Fury in this last fight. Fury is just maybe too top heavy now, abused his body too much, is not disciplined, but he is the better boxer. And had he been disciplined and followed the correct game plan, the same one he had in Wilder 2, he would have won this fight.
I think, and with that being said, I think he wins the second fight, and I think we get a trilogy. I think he wins the second fight. I think we get a trilogy because I think he's gonna know. Like I think it's I think for sure it's too much money. It's already in the contract that they have. He said he wants a rematch, so it's in the contract. So
100% agree, says JM.
So
Fury had all the advantages and allowed a man 40 pounds lighter. Preach, JM. This is church, brother. 40 pounds lighter than him to push him back. But then could Fury's tactic be to stay close to the ropes so Usyk couldn't circle him? Bro, that close to the ropes bullshit, JM, got him clipped. That's what got him clipped.
Yeah, you got to stay off the ropes. You can't. Honestly, Fury in the middle of the round. Look, Fury in the middle of the ring is better than Usyk. Usyk knows that.
Fury should never be on the ropes, bro. Fury should be like this.
He's walking forward.
Fury should be like this, Gary.
You know who Fury is? Okay, like here's the thing is.
That's what Fury.
Okay, so here's the thing is.
I'm sorry.
Hey, here's the thing is.
I'm frustrated.
Gary,
you shouldn't hang out with guys from Miami, and you shouldn't have Arab friends, Gary.
Hey, listen. Fury should have fought the fight, and I'll put it like this: how Lennox Lewis would have fought that fight.
Yeah,
Lennox Lewis would have used his.
Lennox Lewis would have fucked Usyk up, bro.
That's what I'm saying, because he would have kept that jab, walking him back, and every time he tried to come in, Lennox would have destroyed him. Yeah,
he would have destroyed, bro, because Lennox Lewis had that dog in him. He had that lion in him, bro. And he also was disciplined, bro. And he would have just been out here like,
Hey, when the last time you had sex, man? You feel it?
My blood pressure, my diabetes. It's my diabetes.
After this, go in the bathroom. If your wife is asleep, go in the bathroom and handle yourself, bro. You got a little too much energy. You want to fight? I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the Miami Heat getting to you.
Your head's so big, I just want to swing on it.
But nah, it's for real. Like Lennox Lewis would stay behind his jab, made you try to come in and counter you every time you came in with that right. Made you pay every time you came in. But here's my thing with Fury, though. Here's my thing is where I can't go as far as saying you lose it. Because
Stop it, bro. You just want to disagree. You just want to disagree.
No,
this is a toxic relationship.
I don't like taking credit from a man who did what he had to do.
This relationship is toxic.
Listen.
I'm tired of your toxicity.
Hey, listen. See, you like to make excuses. Oh, he's weight drained. Oh, he's too much overweight. Tyson gave him the fight. I don't like all those things. You know that. You know what I'm saying?
He gave him the fight.
Here's my thing is, Usyk could have gave up in those rounds where he was getting pummeled. Because, I mean, it was like the couple rounds, it was like 20-something to 6 punches landed. in a couple rounds. He could have folded. He did not fold. He kept pressing. He kept coming forward, kept to the game plan. He didn't switch up the game plan.
Discipline. I said he won. He won on discipline.
So he wasn't handed. He stuck to the game plan. He didn't fold. And shut up, motherfucker, real quick. Shut up. And not only did he not fold, is that he had enough gas to last to fight Tyson. Now, you can say Tyson gave it away, but you can't discount that Tyson fights these ways all the time. Otto Wallen, who he should have washed, busted him up, which that fight could have stopped. I believe that was with a left. Hold on, wait, let me get this out. I've been trying to get this out the whole time, okay? Ngannou dropped him with a left. Even though Ngannou's not southpaw, like it's a different thing, but it's still a left. Taught him. It's something about the way Fury pulls out. He got caught by Ngannou with a left. I believe Otto Wallen busted his face with the left. You know what I mean? I even think
you can't do this.
I even think, even though it's a different way, I think Deontay Wilder caught him with a left. But you got to remember, in that first fight, when Fury was clearly about to win and he got dropped, what was he doing? Pulling away like this, and Deontay threw a wild one and caught him. That's a flaw. That's a flaw that Tyson Fury has always had. He's gotten away with it because he's so long and tall, and he's barely got away with the first fight with Deontay Wilder. But if you go back and look at it, he got and he leaned back like this, and Deontay caught him. Boom. Leaning out like this with both hands down, leaning back, nothing like this, nothing like slipping defensively sound, because he does that. He gets carried away doing that, and he can get caught. So that you can't say that's how he's always been fighting. That's why he's a dominant heavyweight that always gets knocked down or gets caught with something.
Gary.
Oh,
Otto Wallin. It was everybody has a couple tough fights here and there in their career.
Against Otto.
Otto's a good fighter. When
you see what what's it called did with him, Joshua.
But this is a different Joshua we got now. I'll tell you that. But listen, when he got cut, what did he do? He turned into a dog and he started walking forward and got him out of there because he knew he only had a limited amount of time before the referee might stop that fight.
Yeah.
Here in this fight, he boxed the first 3 or 4 rounds. I didn't know what he was. I didn't know what he was doing. He finally decided to fight in the style in the middle rounds that would get him the win.
Yeah.
And then he backed up because maybe he didn't have the discipline during.
Or maybe he was tired.
Right, because of a lack of discipline in his life. Because this is the biggest fight of your career. This is for undisputed. You've never lost before. And you go and you pull this shit against one of the smallest heavyweights you're ever going to come across. This was, in my opinion, he fumbled this one bad. You could say what you want. And listen, I'm giving Usyk credit for his discipline and for the dog. He's got a dog in him, dude. And even Evander Holyfield said it. Shout out to Evander Holyfield. Usyk, just like him, he appreciates him because he's also a cruiserweight that came up just like Holyfield did, And Usyk, I got a lot of respect for him. He unified at cruiserweight, and now he unified at heavyweight. This is a guy now that people got to start talking about as being a pound-for-pound guy. But in my opinion, the problem for me is I believe that a disciplined, focused, assuming he can focus himself, Tyson Fury is still a better fighter. I don't, and I'm not saying that because I picked Fury or I like Fury or whatever. I mean, I like all these guys, but I just believe that Tyson Fury is a better boxer than this guy and a better fighter, and he just fought a stupid game plan and didn't have the discipline or the dog to outdo Usyk when he got hurt.
See, this is my thing is that and like you said, every boxer has a tough fight. Every boxer has a fight where, for instance, okay, JM says, how is he a superior boxer if he pulls back and things of this nature? Well, he has flaws. He's not a flawless boxer.
Right.
Just like Usyk has his flaws. He's not a flawless boxer. But here's the thing. It's just like I was talking about Lennox Lewis earlier. When Rockman knocked him out, you knew Lennox Lewis was the better fighter.
Yeah.
He and Lennox in that fight got a little comfortable. And
good point.
With heavyweights, it only takes one punch. These are large guys. Yeah. You can say, oh, he's the smallest heavyweight you're gonna fight. He's 235.
With welterweights, it could be one punch. With Inoue at 126 pounds, it could be one punch at this point.
But even more so, with all that weight coming behind the heavyweight, even more. And the thing is, like I said, you seen Rockman knock out Lennox Lewis. We knew Lennox Lewis is the better fighter. He got caught slipping. He got a little too
heavyweights. Let me tell you, one of the best heavyweights ever, in my opinion, Lennox Lewis.
He'll tell you, I beat everybody I fought. Because if they beat me, I came back and beat them. You know what I mean? And so I just felt like, this next fight will show what kind of champion he really is. Because, you lose, like Lennox said, I lost, but I came back and beat those guys. Anytime I lost, I came back and smashed those guys. You know what I mean? I beat everybody I fought. And so this is going to show who Tyson Fury is, if he's going to be acknowledged as one of the great heavyweights. And in my opinion, this fight between him and Usyk will cement one of their legacies as one of the greatest heavyweights. Because Usyk had already whooped Joshua twice. And if he goes, let's say he beats Fury twice, or they go to trilogy and he wins the trilogy, it's going to be legendary.
Retire after that. He could retire after
that. His name is cemented. He just beat a guy that was undefeated, was the Gypsy King, that was the whatever. He beat Joshua. He unified in 2 different divisions. To me, he's already solidified, but that even more so, you have to mention his name with all the rest of the great heavyweights out there. But like you said, a little guy pushing you out, you reminded me. Thank you. Holyfield. Holyfield's a little guy. I seen him beat he beat Riddick Bowe. You know what I mean? Now he lost 2 of them, but but he was giving Riddick Bowe everything. And Riddick Bowe was a large man. He wasn't a small man, and he was a really good boxer, and he was a hard hitter. Now, is Usyk Holyfield? I don't think he's Holyfield. I don't think he's explosive as Holyfield, or Holyfield, man. One of my favorite fighters. He's a banger. But
you can't really judge these guys till they're retired. I mean, that's kind of unfair as well.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just a little guy can do it. Holyfield was this little cruiserweight that was backing guys down. He fought George Foreman till he said George Foreman hit him so hard one time he thought he knocked out his teeth. He went back to the corner and said, "Well, I got my teeth." So I mean, it's boxing, bro. It's boxing, and Usyk is in a slouch. I mean, he's undefeated
really
for a reason.
No, he's really good. Listen, he's really good. I appreciate his bravery. I think he's got a lot of heart, and I think he's a really good boxer. But I
think Tyson's better.
Tell me if you agree. I mean, he's just better. Fury's just a better, in my opinion. He's a better boxer who just doesn't have the focus, doesn't have the discipline. Maybe fought the wrong fight. He needs.
I don't want to say he don't have focus and discipline,
but not as much as Usyk.
Maybe not dedicated as much as Usyk. Yeah, I'll give you that. He's not as dedicated, because I gotta say, a man that was 400 pounds that got all the way down to what he got down, you gotta have some discipline for that. I ain't 400 pounds. It's hard for me to lose 10, 15 pounds.
But you should have never gotten up there in the first place.
Yeah, but that goes to some mental things he had going on, and the drugs, and these fighters they get messed up.
But it's still it also goes to all that. But all that goes to discipline, in my opinion, Gary. We could agree to disagree on that, but all of that goes to discipline at the end of the day. For me, is something going on over there? You got someone?
I'm trying to see. I see something going on. I was seeing something going on. I was seeing something's going on. I got distracted. Go ahead.
Okay. No, that's all I'm saying. I just feel like if you're gonna beat Usyk, you got to fight a disciplined fight. And I think if both guys are on their A game, firing on all cylinders, I still think Fury's the better fighter. We will see in the rematch. Now, I will say, after what I saw in this last fight, and how he reverted to fighting back the way he did in that first Wilder fight, and the way he was, just the way he went about this whole fight, the weight he came in at, everything. I don't know, Gary. I don't know if this guy has what it takes anymore here to win this.
Well, see, the reason why I disagree with you on that, that is here in discipline, I actually think his game plan was to move around and stick and move, not come forward and just outbox him. The reason why I say that, because the weight he came in at. When he wanted to punish Wilder, what did he do? In that second fight, when he did what you did, he came in heavy.
And he should have done the same thing to Usyk. He should have done the same thing to Usyk. Why was he coming into this fight with Usyk trying to outbox him? What are you doing?
But then that comes the game plan. That was the game plan. To move around, outbox him. Because if you're gonna move around, you got to cut weight. You can't be 280, 290 to move around.
He needed to come in strong, and heavy, and get him out of there the way he did with Wilder in part.
He's gonna do, and this is where I really agree with you. And we didn't talk because we didn't want to give each other what we thought. Right. I thought the same thing. I said next fight he's coming in heavy. And he's gonna go walk him down. Because this fight, I was surprised, kind of like, I don't know, because on I think the Ngannou fight, right? He was a little chubby. Everybody's talking about he looked kind of sloppy, out of shape. I don't know if that kind of affected his mentality to say, okay, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna be tip-top shape, 260 something, and I'm gonna move around and box instead of coming in. Like you said, I think that's the game plan for next time.
Right,
come in 280, lean on him, walk him down, keep with and he got away later in the fight from the body shots. You know who started doing the body shots more later on in that fight? Usyk. He got away from that, and I thought that was a brilliant when what's his name? The Sugar Hill. When he told him, go to the body, go to the body.
Listen, whenever you have a mental lapse, I'm here for you, baby.
Oh yeah, when he started telling him to go to the body, that was a great advice, and that worked because that allowed him to land that uppercut more. Because when he looks like he's going to the body, and he comes up, boom, rips you right to the right up there. You know what I mean? And so I thought that was, and he got away from it later on in that fight. I don't know why. Because I felt like it was effective. I think the next time he comes back, he's gonna do more of that, and he's gonna do more walking forward and leaning on it.
I wanted to see again this right here, jab that 2 down the middle, because Usyk's a southpaw, bro. I wanted to see the 1-2. He would have just flattened him with the 1-2. You know what I mean? Bang, bang, stand your ground, and just throw that 1-2 down the middle. Follow it up with the uppercut. Bro, you're so much bigger. You're so much stronger than this guy. Gary, I just could not for the life of me. I was watching this thing and I was saying, what the hell is happening here?
All right.
I'm fighting like this.
Well, you're going to yell at me, George, but we're going to have to wrap this up. My phone is about to die.
It's all good. It's all good, guys. Thank you so much.
I want to give a shout out to JM. He stayed in here this whole time, and he was in the debate. I like that.
He's the man. He's the man. And guys, don't forget, this is the only channel where we don't just talk boxing. We also talk about the fight game, but we also have a real promotion here. So FightersRep, get your tickets to FightersRep 23 and 24, June 1st in Pompano Beach, Florida, June 8th in Los Angeles, California. If you can't make it, join the channel, just $9.99 a month to watch the fights. You're not going to want to miss them. We're going to be previewing FightersRep 24 this week. Gary, thank you for your time, man. Have a great one.
Man.
You, bro.
All right, man. Great one.
Charge your fucking phone next time, asshole.